Hi, I'm Jessica, and I'm with Carolina Navigators, and I'm going to talk to you today about cultural values from England. And Sian is also going to talk to you about cultural values.
Hey guys, I'm Sean. I worked with the morning group. I'm also going to talk about values, but I'm going to focus more on the parent and child and student and teacher and student. So we're going to start off with Jessica.
Yeah. And I worked with the afternoon group, so you have two different groups this time. So I'm going to talk to you about a couple of different values from England and how they're kind of different from American values. First of all, English people are much more relaxed. There's that whole we have the American work ethic. Everyone's going 100% all the time. I'm sure even you guys have like sports and extracurriculars and all this stuff after school. But over there, classes don't really start until 9, and people stay out a lot later. And there's definitely this mentality in the United States that like if you fail, then you try again. And we're big on like self-help and like really working, like we believe that everything can be changed and like improved. And they're much more reserved. If they make a mistake, they're much more likely to not say it or to try to hide it. So that's just something that I found that was really different. And then also going kind of along with that, they have a very sarcastic or dry sense of humor. They're very honest and self-deprecating, which means that they make fun of themselves kind of a lot. They're not big into like puns or wisecracking jokes, kind of like the classic American comedians are kind of like Ben Stiller and Jim Carrey, and British comedians are kind of like Russell Brand and Ricky Gervais, if you know who they are. They're very they like to make fun of themselves and fun of the audience, and they're very honest about their own faults and their own mistakes. So that's very different because like we don't like our comedians don't really put themselves on the level of the audience, while British comedians like to kind of like pretend like they're one of you essentially in terms of making fun of themselves and being really self-deprecating. I'm not like, and in terms of like honesty, they're very honest people. One thing I noticed is that when you get in line, which is called queuing, they're really upset if somebody tries to skip in line. So like really upset, like they will actually say something to you. I didn't do it. I just saw someone do it. But so like instead of like lines in the United States, they're kind of groups of people in a line. It's not like single file, but they're very like want to make sure that nobody gets skipped. So like there was a coffee shop in the middle of the university I was at, and it was literally the line would just be single file all the way across like the square because nobody wanted to skip. Like it was a very big deal if you skipped in line. So don't skip in line. And then also they're very independent people. Even the kids like elementary school kids, like 8 and up, basically, after school would be allowed to just like run around town. Like there would just be groups of them every day, like going to get ice cream or something like that. And that was very different because they didn't have their parents with them, so they kind of misbehaved a lot. But they were trusted to like take the bus by themselves at a very young age and stuff like that, which was very different because I wasn't allowed to do that till I was probably in like high school. So it's very very different. Also, like they're less likely to talk to strangers. They're less likely to like smile at a stranger or like say please or thank you or have a nice day. They just kind of say cheers and then get on with their own business. They're not big onto like being nice to everyone. Like it's not that they see it as being rude. They just like don't want to waste your time or like don't want to like be too intrusive into your life. So they just kind of like very like don't like to look they're very like focused on what they're doing and like the people they're with. But like they are very nice if you go up and talk to them. They're very nice to you. It's not that they're trying to be rude. It's just that they don't think the way we do. Like I grew up in the South and I say thank you and please and have a nice day after every like conversation. So it's a little bit different. Leanne, is there anything different like that for you in China?
Um, yeah, it's kind of like that too, where everyone just minds their own business. If you see a
Mm-hmm.
stranger, you're not gonna go out of your way to smile at them or wave at them.
Yeah,
It's really unique to the like to America that you like see a stranger on the streets and you smile and wave and like you're extra
yeah,
friendly.
yeah, for sure. It's very different. So like I had to get used to not saying have a nice day and like thank you because I just got like weird looks. Like if I smiled at a stranger because we were like the only two people like walking by each other, then like I would literally get like a like like what's wrong with yeah. It was like not what I was used to at all. And they're very like proper and like well dressed. They don't like to like we wear like shirts and hoodies and stuff to class, especially in college. You'll probably end up wearing pajamas to class at least once. But like I actually I actually had a friend who wore like her college like shirt. She's from America, and like the professor made fun of her for it in front of the whole class
Oh
because
wow.
like yeah, because like she wasn't
Dress.
properly dressed for class. Like it's a bigger. They want you to like. You're probably gonna get some weird stares if you don't like look semi decent on a daily basis. And also they're big. They're just big into fashion. Even the men, which is very different than here, they're big into like scarves and accessories, and like they're big into doing weird their hair kind of like a lot of them dye their hair like pink or blue or like completely like it's completely normal to see someone with like dyed colored hair and not like blonde but like blue hair and stuff like that, and they do pretty impressive things to it on a daily basis. I felt really lazy. I was like, I gotta step it up a little bit because clearly I'm not on the same level as them. But yeah, it was just very different in terms of like they felt the need to be very presentable on a daily basis, while here it's kind of like it's not really necessary at all, especially at your age and at like our age. So like it's very very different. What about you? Did they feel the need to be more presentable on a daily basis in China?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like most of the schools though, there's uniforms, but
Yeah.
yeah, you go out to represent, like you don't want to look snobby when you're out because that'll
Yeah.
represent the person you are. So
Hmm.
yeah, you have to look nice. You have to
Hmm.
make sure that you're clean, you're sanitized. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
100% true.
Yeah. Like I would wear my college hoodie and like just joking like in a nice way, but like people would be like, "You're in England now." Like like a guy like an older guy a gentleman who knew me who worked at the university was like, "You really gotta stop. You're in England now. It's time to stop wearing that Carolina hoodie." So and I was like, "Okay, I'll take that to heart." But yeah, it's just very different that they take it more serious, I guess. And like in terms of like on campus, it is a much more relaxed place than like an American university. They have like on Wednesdays, they have like in the afternoons, nobody has class because it's time for like entertainment and leisure, like to play sports and stuff. So like that was all like I didn't have class like on Wednesday after like noon, and nobody else did either. So that was really fun. But they're just generally a more relaxed and honest group of people. Yeah, and that's basically like they it is different, but there's a lot of similarities too. And I wouldn't say the differences are bad. They're just like different, and it takes time to get used to. But like once you get used to it, it's like pretty normal, and you start questioning your own traditions and stuff from the United States and why do we say please and thank you and stuff like that. But it was definitely an interesting experience.